Alright, well, I had this old Rode Videomic. These are awesome. Only problem? The suspension grommets all perish and disappear. And I'll just link out to what they should look like normally from the factory. And Rode did a new version of the Videomic and no longer makes those same grommets. You can't get them anymore. So I discovered the perfect replacement of these silicone O-rings. You can get these, pretty much any hardware store has something like this. I got these from Amazon and they're perfect. So stage one for repairing this thing is to put the heavy size O-rings on the top where the weight, more of the weight's going to be. So poke that one through there and there. And the smaller ones go on the bottom. And I've got hundreds of these. They come in big packets. So I won't ever worry about breaking these or anything. I've got plenty of spares and I'll always be able to get replacements. So that's fix number one. Fix number two. The curly cord that comes out of this is horrible. It's not that it was a bad cord when it was a new mic, but the plastic or PVC sheath perishes and just starts to crumble away like nothing. It's horrible. So I'm going to replace that. And I went looking for curly cords specifically for Rode Videomic, and they actually in the newer generation of these had a plug and came with a cord, and you can get a replacement from Rode, but it's kind of pricey. So I'm gonna do it the way any good electronics technician or engineer would. Like, that's my background, an electronics technician, so I can't just leave things. I've got to pull them apart and fix them. And what I did was I searched for some similar curly cords that have TRS tip ring sleeve mini jack, they're called in America, or in Australia where I'm from they're 3.25 millimeter or whatever, 3.18 millimeter, because they're 1/8 of an inch. And so they arrived today. I've got a few, like they came in a pack of 3, so I'm just going to use one of these, probably the black one. Cut the straight end off and wire that in to the PCB where this one goes in. So here goes, we'll take it all apart. And I've got to find out how this whole assembly goes together. It looks like it's all clipped in and there's some screws in there. So I'll get all this apart and we'll move on to the next part of the video. There it is. Got to the Rode Videomic version 1. There we go. And that's just a straight up solder connection, so that will be easy to replace. That's good. Pretty happy to see. I was worried it'd be some crimp connector or something more challenging. So I just need to use the multimeter to buzz which of 1, 2, and 3 is tip ring and sleeve. I strip one end, strip the straight end off this, Make sure it's got enough length, and solder it on to the circuit board. Shield, which is also black, number 3 on the circuit board. Sleeve is red, number 2 on the circuit board. Tip, this one, white. Just what normal stereo, ANSI, IEC, or whatever. It's a standard stereo cable to go in any kind of stereo input on any camera. So left, right, left is tip, right is ring, and ground is sleeve, with the corresponding colors on the circuit board. So I'll just snip this guy off and solder on the corresponding wires, and we're good to go. Ta-da! Got a bit of heat shrink on it too. This cable's not as high quality as the original, but hopefully the insulation on the outer jacket will last. So now to get all this back in. Coming together. Now this can hook on here. If I want it to. There we are. Nicely refurbished Rode Videomic, ready to go again. So what's it sound like? Well, let me just plug it in and see. And here it all is working.